Just a few weeks ago, I made a video on what the best anime were in summer 2022. Well, the season's just about to end, and we have the fall 2022 season coming right up. So here's my picks on what the best upcoming anime are next season. There are 3 of them, and by the way, this list is not going to be containing any sequels. Since, if you watch a prequel of an anime, you know what to expect from the sequel, so don't really want to waste time on that. However, I will be making another video in the next week or so about BLEACH because there's a lot to talk about and it's been over a decade since the previous season ended. I do also want to talk about a few concerns, so make sure to hit that subscribe and notification button so you're notified when that video comes out. Let's get right to it. Okay, so Chainsaw Man. This is probably the most anticipated anime coming next season. I mean, the manga is number 4 in popularity out of every single manga on my anime list. So think about it as if Jujutsu Kaisen and Tokyo Ghoul had a child. This is a more darker and gory version of Tokyo Ghoul. Very grim take on the same type of plot as Tokyo Ghoul, except the main character here is a dumbass, but he's also interesting at the same time. Denji is the main character, and you know what his driving force for life is? He just wants some boobs. The man just wants to hold some boobs, but he's an interesting character regardless. Now, why did I say it's similar to Tokyo Ghoul? Well, the guy starts off as a devil hunter. There are devils in this world, and he's a broke hunter who's just trying to get by. But then he ends up dying and he fuses with his pet, kind of Devilman style, if anyone's familiar with that. And he becomes a half-devil himself. Almost exactly like Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. So then he uses that devil power to simp, for some boobs and some food. Isn't that the life? What an actual Chad, right? But hey, just a warning for some viewers. Although this is gonna be an amazing anime, it's made by Studio Mappa, by the way. That's the same studio that made Jujutsu Kaisen and a few other great anime. So the fighting scenes are gonna be amazing. Also, the guy in charge of the music is one of my favorite composers, Ushio Kensuke. So if you haven't heard of him, do check out some of his tracks, like from Boogie Pop or Ping Pong the Animation. But yeah, the warning's not about the studio or the staff in charge of the anime. That's looking amazing. No, the warning is more about how it's going to be extremely gory and there are some darker themes in there like grooming and pedophilia, only if you are looking at it on a deep level analysis. Otherwise, if you're just there to enjoy yourself, you might not really realize that. So I just wanted to put that out there. So I rate Chainsaw Man a little lower than what my friends do, but it's still a good experience regardless. So, if you're a viewer that doesn't enjoy gory themes, I'd still say give it a try. It is one of the most popular manga for a reason. And finally, I guess I should mention, there is a lot of waifu material in this anime, so get ready to walk out with the new waifu. Second, we have Blue Lock. Man, I might look like a huge soccer fan now because in my last video I brought up Aowashi and now here I'm bringing up Blue Lock, another soccer anime. Well, that's not the case. I don't even watch IRL soccer. I just can't get into it. It's a bit bland for my taste and it doesn't feel like much is happening most of the time, which is why I don't like it. Not trying to call out any soccer fans out there, this is just my personal preference. By the way, do you think that there's any coincidence that the World Cup is this year and we're getting all this new soccer anime? Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is that anime sports is different because there's always some sort of action going on, and if there isn't, then we as a viewer have a generic plotline to follow as well, so there's no boredom in between activity. Anyway, so Blue Lock, we have some very interesting characters in here, and at the beginning they are going to overshadow the main character, but not really in a bad way because all of these other characters have these unique traits while the main character is quite generic. But that's the whole premise of the story. It's taking place after Japan loses the World Cup, and so they try to change their entire viewpoint on how to play soccer, and so they try to evolve Japanese soccer in general, and the main character Yoichi is a reflection of that. He goes from generic soccer player to selfish soccer player. Now, to expand on that selfish aspect, this is where this anime gets unique compared to other sports anime. You know, like every sports anime out there, it's all about friendship, teamwork, coordination, blah blah blah, all that jazz. Nah, screw that. Here we have just full-on selfish play. Think about it as if everyone in the field is like an Aomine from Kuroko no Basket. Everyone only wants to be a ball hog and make all of the points themselves. That's basically what this anime is about. All of the characters have that skill to back up that sort of mentality as well, so that's what makes it even more crazier. So yeah, it's a very refreshing take on the sports genre, and we have a very interesting premise, so if you don't normally enjoy sports anime, it's probably something that you might want to give a try. By the way, look at this animation and art. I'm straight up getting chills. Am I still watching soccer, or is this Kuroko no Basket Take 2 Soccer Edition? And the studio behind this, Studio 8-Bit, has a good track history of anime such as the Tensura series, that time I got reincarnated as a slime. So just looking at the animation from the trailer as well, we can probably expect a very high quality adaptation from them. Finally, we have Kage no Jutsuryokusha, or I'm just going to refer to it as its English name, Eminence in Shadow. This is probably going to be my personal anime of the season. It's basically Overlord. The main character is extremely similar to Ainsama in personality, except this guy knows he's being chunibyo or edgy, but he just does it because he finds it fun. He literally wants to be an Eminence in Shadow, a Dark Lord that's sort of controlling everything from behind the scenes. But in his mind, he thinks all of this is just roleplay, it's just in his head. But guess what? All of his delusions turn out to be real. And the best part, he's not even aware that all of this is actually real. He just thinks people are playing along with him. So either his IQ is over 400 or he just has his luck stat maxed out. Just like Overlord, this guy also has a group of fanatical followers, like the Nazari Guardians following his ass because he's like the second coming of Christ or something. You know how in Overlord the Guardians are like, Sasuga Ainsama whenever he does some sort of 200 IQ move? That's the exact same thing in Eminence in Shadow. The main character Sid, or under his alternate persona Shadow, does some sort of random shit because he just wants to do it, and it turns out to be true, and the followers are just like, what? What sort of dimension is he thinking in? Oh my god. And for the most part, the main character is trying to act like a mob so he doesn't stand out because he wants to work from the shadows, you know? But when he switches over to his shadow persona, he has some very badass moments because this guy's just straight up OP. Anyways, it's a comedic story, but the plotline is amazing because I said so trust me. Now all that's left for Eminence in Shadow is for the studio to adapt it well, unlike the dumpster fire that was Hoshino Samidare last season. It's not the same studio, I just wanted to use it as a comparison because that was a really trashy adaptation. Unfortunately, the studio and director don't have much of a great history, they barely have many works, so I'm just hoping it's not messed up because if it gets enough of a budget, it should be a really great anime. But regardless, I do want to hype this up because it should be the next big thing as long as it's not botched, and it does deserve that sort of popularity and attention. Like, I swear this is gonna be the next One Punch Man. It's one of my favorite manga anyway, so as long as I bring some of that attention to you guys, that's good enough for me. So there you have it, that's my list for the upcoming noteworthy anime next season without including the sequels. So we have Chainsaw Man, Blue Lock, and Eminence in Shadow. Alright, peace! JK, I'm still here. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you.